Hi, I'm Brian, Service Manager at Whole Latte Love, and today I'm going to show you how to adjust your brew pressure on a Profitec Pro 700.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so first thing I'll point out is what we're actually going to be adjusting. If you are used to a vibratory pump, you may be used to adjusting your OPV, something that looks similar to this. That is not what we're going to be adjusting in here. On a
Definitely
rotary,
not on this one.
Definitely not on this one. No, this one. So I'll point that out first. So this is where the OPV goes. On newer style machines, you have this updated OPV. This is set to 14 bar and non-adjustable. So not even worth mentioning if you have this one because you can't change it anyways.
But if you have an old Synchronica. Yeah.
If you have an old Synchronica, it's going to have
Pro 700.
Pro 700, yep. Well, both machines.
Both,
so,
yeah.
yep. They will have a OPV that looks like this, and it is adjustable. This comes out of the box set to around 11 bars. Mm-hmm. So the only reason you'd need to change it is if you were trying to do your pump to over 11 bars.
Right.
So if you're staying at like 10 bar being your max, then you'd be fine with never having to adjust this. Mm-hmm. But if you want to get real squirrely with it and have very aggressive extraction, then you're going to need to adjust that a little bit more before you adjust your pump.
But just to be clear, that's not where you adjust your brew pressure.
Exactly.
It's more of a safety valve on the brew boiler.
Yep, maximum capacity of the boiler as far as pressure goes. So
well, where are we going to adjust our pressure?
So your pressure is adjusted at the actual pump. Mm-hmm. There is an access port on the bottom of the machine. I'll show you that in a second, but just so you have an idea as to what you're looking at, I got one pulled out of the machine. So you see right here.
Sits in like that. Just
like that. So if you look at the bottom, this is the adjustment. It's just a slotted screw space, and all you're doing is turning to adjust it.
So we're going to do some of that, right?
Yep,
okay.
We're going to do that. So right now I have the machine running off of the Reservoir. So what I want to show you is that there's a difference between when you're on Reservoir and when you're on the plumb line. If you dial this in off of the Reservoir and then later decide to plumb it in, you are going to have a slight increase of pressure coming through the system.
Okay.
So I'll show you right here. Got blind portafilter in. You're going to need that when you're doing this. Mm-hmm. Just lift your lever and you'll see we're at a little bit past 8 there. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now if I were to switch this over to the plumb line, so all I did is just turn the valve over because I already got everything hooked up here. Mm-hmm. And do this test again. There you go. Yeah, give about a half bar increase. So when we bench test these machines before shipping them out, we'll actually set them to 8.5 bar, knowing that if you're on a plumb line, it's going to go up to 9 bar. Okay. So, and the reason behind us setting it to that specific setting is because I'm on YouTube and you have to listen to me. Just kidding.
Really?
Yes, totally.
Okay.
You know, I know everything about this, so don't question me. No, it's just for consistency's sake. We know that if we're sending a product out dialed in as that, if you call us up and say, hey, I think I may have a problem with my machine, flow may seem a little low or something like that, we can ask you, what's your gauge reading, you know, if you're on Reservoir or if you're on the plumb, or if you're plumbed in, and if we know that we're setting it to this and you say it's somewhere over here, then we know there is possibly an issue.
Okay.
So that's the whole reason for us dialing it into that.
Like a standard, so you got a reference point.
Exactly, yep.
Okay.
So if you decide to change your pressure, the easiest way to do this is...
And you don't have to have the covers off to do this.
No, definitely not.
You have the housing off.
Nope.
Just so we could point things out.
Yeah, I just had it off so I could show you what's going on in here and tell you why you don't need to know what's going on in there.
Right. Okay.
So since the dial for this is down in the bottom corner here, the easiest way is to just take this back leg and hang it off the side a little bit. Just be very careful when you do this. You don't want to get it too far over and get to the point where it's going to start pivoting.
Sure.
Also not a bad idea just to have a friend come over, offer him a couple shots of espresso to help you out. And just kind of spot your machine, make sure it doesn't tip over and clunk you on the head or something.
Okay.
So that would be a bad day. So what you're going to do is you just lift your lever. See where we're at. Where am I at, Mark?
You're at, I'm going to call it just a little over 9.
A little over 9? All right. Let me find that slot. There we go.
So I'll bring it right, boom.
Where am I?
You're at 2 ticks over 8.
2 ticks over 8. Cool. How about?
Now you're at 1 tick. And you're barely
I'm
moving
making
that, right?
very, very tiny movements here. To show you what I'm doing, that entire movement that I just made was about that to that.
So yeah.
So it's very small changes that you need to make to do these adjustments. So, and you can go however far you really want, one way or the other. You know, it's it's like cooking. You can experiment however you want. Go low, go high. Like I said, the maximum rating on the newest style of the OPV is 14 bar, so that's as far as you're ever going to get on this. Out of the box, the old style around 11. So that's, unless you adjust this is as far as you're going to get with that. But
and again, that's just safety. That's not going to be your brew pressure. And
exactly.
People get really uptight about brew pressure. You know, like I got to have exactly 9 or something. And you know, I can tell you from my experience, a lot of other people experience, a lot of studies I've read, there's very little difference between extracting at a half a bar pressure difference, you know?
Yeah. It's, I think you've probably done a lot more study on it than I have, but I agree with that. Yeah, it's not, you have to make a much larger jump to make any massive changes to your drink.
Yeah. All right.
So the other thing I wanted to touch on real quick, since we're talking about pressure inside the system, now you notice this is a stock E61 group head. We do not have a flow control device on here. But for those of you that do have the flow control device, you may notice that the gauge that is on the front of your group head may not read exactly what this gauge is reading. It will often go higher.
And that's normal.
It is completely normal, yep.
There's a good reason for that.
There is. So if we go back to the back side of the machine here, so this is where your gauge comes off. Follow that capillary tube around the front. So your gauge is reading the pressure that is coming off of the pump. Also on that note is if you have this on plumb line, your gauge will always read whatever your incoming line pressure is.
Right.
So that's what this is going to read. What the gauge is reading is what's in the group head and what's in the boiler. Now, the reason that this is not going to read what is in the boiler is because you have these non-return valves in here. So the pressure in here is going to be much greater. Like you said, 14 bars, what you can reach up on here. So, I mean, yes, you could get to say 14 bar by really cranking down on the pump, but generally speaking, you're not going to go as high as the pressure is going to go in here. And the other reason why you're going to have more pressure in here is because the water coming through here is cold, but when it hits that boiler and starts getting hot, because of that heat is going to expand, which is causing more pressure. So you're going to get that higher pressure up in this end of the system than you will down here. So that's why you'll see a different reading on that group gauge.
And that pressure is held in check by that one-way valve because it can't release. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for that explanation because we do get that question once in a while. Why is that group pressure gauge reading higher than my other one? So there's a really good reason for that. It's totally normal.
Yes, it is.
All right, Brian, thanks for taking us through that.
Anytime.